Hope everybody's having a good one. I know I am so far. I've got a few minutes to myself. What is that? My children are doing their virtual learning today. Today's our first day of it. And I want to say, by the way, a huge thank you to North DeSoto teachers and staff for how well put together everything is for the start of this year to get these kids back to some sort of normalcy. It's been a huge bit of work on your part, I'm sure, to get us where we are now. So thank you for that. With that said, I actually got on this morning or this afternoon, I don't even know what time it is, to tell you about my new love. I'm sitting in my salon and I just got a box in yesterday. My dear elementary school friend, Amy Williamson, introduced Marley and I to Farmasi makeup. She laughed at me the first couple of times because I wanted to call it Farmasi. She says I like to be bougie and fancy, whatever. It's what it looks like, the way that it's spelled. So don't pick on me, Amy. With that being said, I was going to share with you, because on this lovely Friday morning I haven't had to get dressed like I normally do and put my makeup on. I'm still without makeup, so I was going to show you my morning routine with my new goodies, and hopefully this is enlightening for those of you curious about the brand, and also to let you know that Marley, my daughter, signed up to be a beauty influencer with me. So we'll be sharing some of our videos together, but for now I'm doing one while she's doing her work. So the first thing I'm going to start with is, of course, my skincare. I used the Age Reverses line this morning. I used the gel cleanser, then the serum, then I used the moisturizer and the eye cream. And then after that, I used the lip conditioner. So, as you all know, you can't really have a good makeup application without good skincare. And the thing that I've learned in my, I'm old, almost 21 years of being a cosmetologist is, in order to have good products, you don't have to break the bank. There are options, and this is really one of them in the way of skincare and makeup. And it's made with great ingredients. It's all really good for any skin type. I have the most finicky skin in the world that breaks out for anything. I had to get on Accutane at 35 years old because my skin is that way. But this stuff is wonderful. It does not break me out. I've had people use it that have rosacea and a lot of different other skin conditions, and they all love it as well. And the price point is really close to, I think it's kind of ironic that the makeup the line is called Farmasi, because the price point is really close to what you would spend in Walgreens or CVS for, one of the over-the-counter brands. So that's wonderful, but it's a much better quality. So the thing I was going to start with this morning is the Vfx Pro Primer. I don't know is it focusing? I think so. So this little gem right here is, it's lightweight and it's kind of got a silicone slip to it. So it's great about sitting in the fine lines and wrinkles of your face for those of us who are at that point. I'll be 38 on Monday. So it'll help to kind of minimize your pores, and it'll smoothly cover your lines and all that fun stuff. So I always start with a good primer because it holds your makeup on and it helps it to go on more evenly and look more natural and not sit in those lines. I'm trying to find my brush here, I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Okay, and this is just a foundation brush. So I want you to see how, as I'm putting the primer on this part of my face, can you see the difference in how this is blurred and this is still clearly wide open for the makeup to sit there? The great thing about this stuff, it runs $12.90. So it's really, really affordable and easy on the skin. And I just apply this everywhere. Under my chin, around my jawline, into my hairline. So that's that. Got a little extra, so I'm gonna throw it up there on my forehead wrinkles, the ones that make me look old and haggard. So there's that. So now I'm gonna move over to the CC cream, which is a really, really lightweight, this is it. It's a really lightweight and buildable coverage, and it's suitable for all skin types. And for those of you who aren't familiar with using a foundation with buildable coverage, obviously the more you apply, the more coverage you have. So I always like to have something that's lightweight, that doesn't feel like it's heavy on my face, especially during the summertime when you sweat, and I don't ever like to feel like I can run my fingernails across my face and come up with 3 inches of makeup under it. It just grosses me out to think about. So this guy is great for summertime wear, and even, you know, into the winter months where your face starts to get dry, because it's got some great vitamins and minerals in it to help protect you from all the free radicals. And it runs $16.90. How about that? So, I'm trying to find my little foundation brush. So, just gonna go ahead and excuse my ugly makeup faces. I think we all have them, right? Wait till I get to my mascara if you think that's bad. It gets real ugly at that point. And I always apply my foundation to my eyelids too. Some people don't, but I like to because I feel like it helps to hold eye makeup on along with a primer. So do you see the difference between this side and this side? You see how it covers redness so very well? And it's got a semi-matte finish to it, so it's amazing. Add some more to this. I guess I should have put a hairband in this head. The thing about the CC cream is it's great for covering redness and just evening out the skin tone, and it's got some skin care treatment qualities to it too. It gives some moisture and some SPF. So it's a great baseball field and soccer field makeup. Football too, if you must. I'm not hating on any sport, I'm just saying the ones I know about. Blended it into my neckline. So, there's that. Nice little foundation going. So now I'm going to move over to my eyebrow liner. So this is one part that a lot of people get intimidated by, and you know, some people feel the need to recreate their brows. Some people fill a little in and create some areas, but that's what these guys are for that purpose. Because though I have a good shape to my brows, they look a little sparse in areas. And some of that is probably from me over waxing or tweezing in my younger years, in the 90s when we had pencil brows, but it's not the case anymore. So here we go. So this guy, I almost forgot to tell you about it. It's got a gel texture to it. And this one's the dark brown, which I may need to go to the lighter brown now that I've used it a little bit, but it just provides like a powdery, soft, and matte finish, and it's $10, $10.90. Pretty cheap. So here I go. I always start just in the archway, get all that filled in, and then I light-handedly move to the front of my brow. Just kind of get that guy shaped up. Oh, I think I hear the upstairs area coming alive. Ooh, hopefully they can be independent for a minute so I can finish this. We don't have any interruptions. It's fun to be a mama. See, okay, this is my done brow and this is my undone brow. So I don't go crazy unnatural with my brows, but I do like to look groomed. I feel like it aids as sort of a picture frame for your eyes. And when my brows are not done, I feel very, very undone and very frumpy. I don't know why that is. That went a little crazy. Okay. Get in there and even that out. One's a little thicker than the other, but that's okay. So there are my brows. Done and done. Pretty easy. Okay, so next I'm gonna move on to my eyeshadow primer. So this guy, it's in a little tub. It's got a smooth and silky finish. It looks like it's got some pigment to it, but it really doesn't. It's more nude. It prevents smearing and smudging, you know, through your daily wear, and it keeps your eyeshadow with a, you know, your bright pigment pops, and it keeps it from just really wearing off during the day. So I always like to use a primer. It's kind of like you would never want to paint a wall without a primer because you don't get your best, most even color. So I think of the same with my eyeshadow and my foundation. So let me find my little brushy again. So I'm just going to use an eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to load it up. Bunch of primer. Just get it going all over my eye. So there's my nice little even palette. See, it's sort of on the wider end of the neutral spectrum. Just going to give you that pop in whatever color eyeshadow you decide to use. Which for me, some people are neutral, stay safe, and natural people in the way of color for makeup. I do that sometimes, but I like color in my life. I like color on my face, on my clothes, in my house. If you walk through my house, you would probably go, wow. Because just about every room in my house is a different color, and I like it that way. So I like to add some pop on the eyes, because I feel like, for me, when I meet someone or I look at someone's face, their eyes are the first thing I notice. Call me sensitive, call me romantic, all about feelings, what you will, but I always like to pop the eyes before anything else on the face. So today, I am going to do so, I'm going to use my Long Last Creamy Eyeshadow, and this one is in Orange Pop. It's 03. See that pretty little orange color? For those of you with blue eyes, this is fantastic. And you'll see why in a minute. So I like to put my brightest color on my lid because I have little bitty eyes, as you can see, so we're trying to get them open and bright. And with this creamy eyeshadow, it's no crease, it's got a lot of pigment to it, and it's $12.90 per. So there are several different colors to choose from. I think this is probably my favorite of the line. See that pretty orange? I loved it. And it kind of makes me think of fall too. I'm so ready for fall. So tired of the heat. No, I'm not a pumpkin latte girl. I love the fall and everything that comes with it, but pumpkin is not my friend. I love to look at them and the color they are, but I don't like to eat them or the flavor of them. So, there's my orange pop. Isn't it so pretty? Okay. So now I'm gonna move to my other little friend, which is also a creamy eyeshadow. This guy is, let's see, what color is this? This is brown sugar. So I'm gonna use this for my crease color. After I use my little makeup wipe. So again, these guys are $12.90 and well worth the 12 bucks. Because this is the closest eyeshadow with lots of pigment to it that I've used to max pigmented eyeshadows, and we all know what those run. So I'm just kind of getting in the crease, going a little thicker up here because I like to accentuate the arches of my eyebrows. So there's that. I like to also just bring a little bit into that inner crease. You want to keep that inner crease lighter so that it really makes your eyes pop and look bigger. So we define the shape here. Need a little bit more on this side. I love doing eye makeup. It's so much fun. So many possibilities and options. So there's that. So now, away. I'm gonna grab my trio eyeshadow kit, and this trio is called Sunset. So there's 3 really pretty neutrals in there. So this one, it comes with 3 colors, obviously. It's long-lasting pigment, and they're really, really blendable and easy to work with. So that's what I love about them. And also, for 3 eyeshadows, 21 bucks. Can't really beat that. So if you see here, I've got 3 colors. So I'm gonna use not the lightest, but the middle color to go in this area with the inner corners. To keep it lighter, but still not as light as my brow, because we're using the brow. I'm going to use a highlighter color to accentuate the brow. These things are so soft and silky to go on. So now I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to clean my brush. And I'm going to go to the lighter color, or the lightest color. I'm going to get up into the arch of my brow with it and kind of blend it down into that darker color. And then into that inner crease. And then I'm going to drag some of this into my tear duct area, not in your eye obviously, but in this area. And you'll see why in a minute when I put the eyeliner on. Okay. How's that looking, guys? Hopefully it looks good. Okay, so that part is done. Well, I'm gonna go back and tweak and add a little bit more of my brown sugar on this eye. It's just looking a little lighter now that I've blended it. Good deal. Okay. So now, here comes my Express waterproof pencil. This guy's pretty awesome. I'm going to use it for lining the underneath of my eye. And that's my personal preference, but I like to a lot of the times use a darker liner on the top lid and a lighter on the bottom lid, because it keeps that eye open and bigger looking. So, you know, some people like to use one color all the way around. That's totally fine too, but this guy's waterproof, extremely long lasting, and this one is dark brown, and it runs for $11.90. So I just get right under the outside corner of my eye with my pencil. Okay. And then I go to my Extra Last eye pencil, which is pretty much the closest thing to a liquid liner without being liquid that you're gonna find. It's 10 bucks, 90 cents, super long lasting. Watch how pretty this line comes across. So, excuse the ugly faces, I warned you. So I usually start mid-lid and I get as close to my lash line as I possibly can. And I drag it all the way out. And then I start going slowly creeping in. Okay. And I like to bring my eyeliner and exaggerate it out a little further on my eye. Some people aren't comfortable with that. That's okay, this is just my preference. I feel like all of these little tricks I've learned along the way to make my eyes actually look bigger. Excuse my redness, this happens pretty often. Again, I have crazy skin, so yikes. So, give me just a sec. Drop this guy, but we're not going to use him quite yet. think I dropped what I needed to use. Give me a second. We'll find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so now I'm going to use my, I'm going to put concealer under my eyes to give me a lighter pop under my eyes and make my eyes look brighter and my face look fresher. So this is a full coverage stick concealer. This is 01 Bisque, and this one runs for $11.90. I like this one because it's got a lot of coverage to it without being thick and sitting in places that it shouldn't. So I'm just gonna really get a good coating going under my eyes. Don't get scared, people. I'm gonna blend it. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm gonna grab my concealer brush. And get as close to my eyeliner underneath as possible. This is a good little trick too for cleaning up messes when, you know, sometimes you dust your eyeshadow on a little too thick and it lands under your eyes and leaves shadows, and then you go to clean it and it smudges everywhere. So put some concealer under those eyes and smudge it in and it magically disappears. So see where I have these separations right there? So a lot of times people tend to overuse makeup in general by smudging it and then having to wipe it off instead of dabbing it and then using your brush or your sponge and just really getting it in where you need it by dabbing it. It keeps it in place, but it also blends it. So a little extra fun for you there. So now I'm going to use my mascara. Eyelashes for days. So this is the Zen Mascara. This is my favorite. We have several different ones, but this one is $8.90, $8.90, yeah. It's got a silicone brush, so it gives you extra length, volume, and it also curls. So here goes. See that brush? I've got my hair stuck on my brush. It's about to drive me crazy. So I always start with my outside corner and go to the base of my lashes and really push and kind of shimmy shake up. Give them a real good coating. You see the difference? Okay. I always give them 2 coatings. I'll let the first one sit a little bit and kind of dry. And then I come back and add a second. I also like to use, if you can see on here, I don't know if you can, the back side of the brush here where there's no bristles on it. I like that to get up under the base, and I dab it under the base to kind of create a harder volume for the rest of your length of your lashes to sit there. So and then I flip it around. Okay, so I'm going for a 3rd coat. Don't judge me. Sometimes you just gotta do what it takes to get your lashes to stand up, and I have none, which is why I love this mascara. Because as you can see, now you can actually see that I have eyelashes. Thank you, Zen. So there's eyes. Still pretty natural, but got some color, some orange pop to those lids, some fun stuff. So now I'm gonna use, don't sue me, I didn't get my bronzing powder in from Farmasi, so I'm gonna use a random bronzer to get up underneath my cheekbones. So if you go here, you suck your little cheeks in, make a fishy face. Right under here is where you want to add that bronzer to give you the best definition. Then I usually take my bronzer, dust off my brush, and I go across my top hairline. My top hairline, what does that even mean? Not my sides, the top of my forehead. Sometimes I say things and I worry about myself. And then across the jawline and down into the neck. My neck is crazy red right now, but I think it's from the heat of the light, so just, I promise it's no allergic reaction. It happens all the time. So there's that. So now I'm going to use my highlighter palette from Farmasi. So there's three, I don't know if you can, let me keep it still and maybe you can focus on it. Maybe it's too far away. So you've got kind of a peachy pink here, and then this one's more of a yellowy gold. And then we've got a blush, just a really, really pale blush pink here. And these go for $18.90 for the three. And it really, a highlighter just really helps to accentuate things. So what I created as a shadow here, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the top of my cheekbone and you'll see how that makes a difference. So I'm gonna use kind of the peachy pink because I just feel like that's what goes with the shades that I'm wearing today. See the difference in those two? Okay, check this guy out. And then I'm gonna go tip on my nose, a little bit here, a little there. Now I'm gonna use my highlighter stick. So this guy is called Gold Flash, because if you see, it gives a really, really translucent, pretty shimmer, but it's got a gold finish to it, so it's really natural. So I'm gonna take it and use it right up under the arch of my brow and on my brow bone, on the top of the arch of my brow. See how I'm kind of lining that guy. That's a little better. Sorry, y'all, my focus was off all this time. And then grab a little bit of that and go pop in the crease. And right in here. Can you see how pretty that is? Check out the shimmer. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my highlighting palette And I'm gonna use this guy right up under my eye right there. The reason I wanted to use the powder instead of the cream is the powder sits a little better on that ledge than a cream would. And it tends to, for me, if I use a cream, because I have such big cheekbones, if I use a cream here, it tends to make me look oily. So, I'm gonna grab just a regular little eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna grab this guy, kind of goldy white color, tap tap, get the excess off. Just really kind of dab up underneath that eye. Can you see the difference that makes? How much more this one's brighter and more open? Okay. And if you get too much on there, don't panic. Just grab a little spongy, smudge them in. So now that I've done that, I'm going to come back with my light pink highlighter just at the balls of my cheeks. Just to blend those in. And then back to my coral to get it back to warm. And I'm going to take a dry foundation brush, just get the excess off. How's that looking? Minus my redneck. So now I'm going to use my BB Matte lipstick, which is number 5. I forget the name of it, forgive me. I can find out. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. So this, hear me when I say this, because I hate matte lipsticks. Never found a color, even in MAC, even in Lancome, none of these brands that are fantastic makeup brands did I ever find a matte lipstick that I like. Why? Because they're dry. And because with what I do, I'm constantly chattering and moving my mouth. I know that it's really hard to tell that I'm constantly chattering and moving my mouth, but it gets flaky and it feels like my lips are cracking, and I just hate it. But this little guy, it's a BB lipstick. It's got a matte finish, but it's got a moisturizing application and stays moisturizing. So it is wonderful. So I'm gonna use this one as my base color. And typically I would use a lip liner to shape my lips, but I didn't get any of those in yet. Those are on my next shipment coming in, so. It's got a really, really pretty nude, almost raisin pink color. So the great thing about this little guy is it will do just like putting a lip liner all over your lips. It has that matte finish, so naturally it's gonna grab anything that you put on top of it. It's got kind of a powdery finish, so I like the look of glitz because I'm a girl and I just do. So I'm gonna take some of this Miss Sparkle Lip Gloss 02, and I'm gonna dab just a touch in the center, and then the bows of my lips, and okay, all around, because I like glitter. And there you have it. A shimmery finish to a matte lipstick. So now we're not done. I know it looks like I'm done, but I promise I'm not. So now I'm gonna use, where is it? My time locker, makeup time locker. So this is a setting spray, and many people do not use setting sprays because it's just one more step that they have to do and blah, blah, blah. But if you want your makeup, your color, your beautiful work that you work so hard on getting done for the day to stay on until the end of the day when you're ready for it to come off, this is your friend, makeup time locker. So what you do, shake it up. I should have put a hairband on. You close your eyes and you go just to get enough distance away where you're not macing yourself as you spray it. So just spritz and let it land on you. So what it does is it acts like a hairspray does for hair. It locks in where everything is and what it's doing. But some setting sprays tend to feel very sticky or crunchy once they dry, like your face feels like it has a light coating of mask on it. This one does not. It's wonderful. Check it out. So I hope you enjoyed my goofy little makeup application this morning or today, this afternoon. I don't know. But I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. Leave me some constructive criticism, comments, whatever you think. If you have any questions on the colors or pricing or any of that, hit me up in the comments. I do have a link that you could go to if you are interested in purchasing any of these. It's Farmasi, FARMASIUS.com/Mia Santamont. FarmasiUS.com/Mia Santamont. Thank you for spending your 40 minutes watching me put on my makeup. Hope you have a great weekend. Toodles.